Hi, everybody. Alita Hernandez, Rebooted Mindset. I hope everybody's doing well this wonderful Tuesday. It is, I have to look at the calendar because my days flow really quick. So it is March 5th. March 5th. It's March already. Oh, wow. Can't believe it. So I came to you early today. I'm recording this. I'm live right now. It is 3:15 p.m. here Eastern Time on March 5th, and I am live right now. But I usually go, I started going in the evenings. I usually go on 6 p.m. on Tuesdays. But unfortunately, I have some things that I need to attend to this afternoon. So I decided, let me do it early and I will show this recording tonight. So just to know that if you're on at 6 p.m. tonight, I am not here physically live. But you can always leave me messages and comments. I will answer you. And always remember, you can reach me at my email, which I'm going to put up here, info@rebootedthepodcast.com. So I know I have a couple of names. I got to change some things. But before that, just remember info@rebootedthepodcast.com. You can send me an email there and communicate with me. Today's episode, I am talking about Alzheimer's and dementia. And I put Alzheimer's and dementia really suck. And I just say it like that because it does. All right. So I don't know if anybody in your family has Alzheimer's, but I do and have dementia. And it is a lot of work and it's just very sad. Now, I'm not sure that telling you my perspective as a person who's taking care of my mother who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's and my aunt who has dementia or some also like a brain injury because she fell and hit her head, and since then she hasn't been right. So for the last 4 years since 2020, me and JC moved in with the ladies to take care of them and cook and shop and everything because they're not driving now. My mother's 86, my aunt is 84, and they have different signs of dementia. So my aunt fell about 5 years ago, hit her head, broke her arm. She's fine now. Uh, Not to worry there, but her brain was affected when she fell. She, for me, she has a form. Excuse me, a form of how do you call it? Amnesia. What do you call it? I was gonna forget. Anyway, so it's a form of like amnesia. So she cannot remember anything from the past. She cannot remember anything from the past, and it's really sad, because nobody should be living like that, having issues, with your memory. Now, I really don't know as me as a caregiver, right? I don't know how the other person feels. I ask my aunt and my mother, but they don't tell me feelings like I'm frustrated or I'm sad or I'm depressed. Like the emotions don't come out. So that makes it more difficult because I don't know what they're feeling. But I tell you, my days are challenging. I'm blessed. I'm very grateful. I want to say right now that I have my mother and my aunt at their 80s, in their 80s. And many who know me know and have danced with my mother. My mother loves the salsa, and she plays an incredible classical piano. And even though she has some memory issues, some short-term memory issues, but she can play Chopin and Tchaikovsky and Beethoven on the piano. I can't even try. I can't even read the music. It is so complicated, the sheets of music. I remember as a little girl seeing the music and I go, those are all the notes? How can you read all those notes and play at the same time? Like I couldn't coordinate reading and trying to find the keys on the keyboard. But it's something that keeps my mother going, and she still remembers that. So I enjoy and I encourage her to play. So I came today to talk about this because it is very challenging, and sometimes I don't know. I feel like I'm like hitting a wall because I don't know what to do. Lately, the senior medical center that's near our home offers free classes for seniors. So if you're in Deerfield Beach, Florida, or in Boca or in Pompano, well, Deerfield Beach, it's in Deerfield Beach. I'm in Boca right next to it, so. But they have free classes. So they have stretching on Tuesdays, stretching and balance. Wednesdays, they either do Zumba or Tai Chi. And then on Fridays, like every other Friday or something, they do painting. So they try to do some different things. They celebrate the birthdays once a month. They do a lot of little activities for the seniors. And I go with them. I'm a young senior. I'm a young, right? So I take the classes with them. We had fun with the Zumba. They had salsa, and we had a great time doing that. And it was just awesome to be there with them and be part of it. So it's something that I can do with them and they have a good time. Sometimes they remember, sometimes they don't. So I don't know how many of you going through right that. I don't know how many people out there. And if you see this on the replay, please put up comments anywhere you're seeing it. And please let me know, are you going through this too? Are you going through the struggle of taking care of an elderly parent that has memory issues? Are you exhausted? Excuse me. Talking about exhaustion. I'm so sorry. I'm a little tired, but I'm more hungry than tired right now. But so I just want to talk my experiences. I found a little video on YouTube from the I think it's the National Institute of let me see exactly because I don't want to misquote anything. So it is from the National Institute of Aging, and it talks about Alzheimer's. So oops, it's gonna start before me. So I'm gonna play this little video so you can check it out, and just a little bit of explanation about what Alzheimer and dementia is in case you don't know. Okay, so I'll be right back.
In healthy people, all sensations, movements,
Thoughts, memories, and feelings are the result of signals that pass through billions of nerve cells or neurons in the brain. Neurons constantly communicate with each other through electrical charges that travel down axons, causing the release of chemicals across tiny gaps to neighboring neurons. Other cells in the brain, such as astrocytes and microglia, clear away debris and help keep neurons healthy. In a person with Alzheimer's disease, the most basic form of dementia, toxic changes in the brain destroy this healthy balance. These changes may occur years, even decades, before the first signs of dementia. Researchers believe that this process involves two proteins called beta amyloid and tau, which somehow become toxic to the brain. It appears that abnormal tau accumulates, eventually forming tangles inside neurons. And beta amyloid clumps into plaques, which slowly build up between neurons. As the level of amyloid reaches a tipping point, there is a rapid spread of tau throughout the brain. But tau and beta amyloid may not be the only factors involved in Alzheimer's. Other changes that affect the brain may also play a role over time. The vascular system may fail to deliver sufficient blood and nutrients to the brain. The brain may lack the glucose needed to power its activity. Chronic inflammation sets in as microglial cells fail to clear away debris, and astrocytes react to distressed microglia. Eventually, neurons lose their ability to communicate. As neurons die, the brain shrinks, beginning in the hippocampus, a part of the brain important to learning and memory. People may begin to experience memory loss, impaired decision-making, and language problems. As more neurons die throughout the brain, a person with Alzheimer's gradually loses the ability to think, remember, make decisions, and function independently. Achieving a deeper understanding of the molecular and cellular mechanisms and how they may interact is vital to the development of effective therapies. Much progress has been made in identifying.
So I'm not going to continue with the video. I just wanted to give you a little video on Alzheimer's, and it's a very complicated disease. There's things they're saying about some proteins that are in the brain. I am not a doctor. Okay, I'm just talking about my heart and what I go through on a daily basis. So just little things that I go through. So the first signs that you will see somebody that has a memory issue in your family is basically misplacing things. the first sign you'll see of your parent or an uncle or somebody like that is that they start misplacing things. They can't find their keys or their watch or certain little things that they can't find. And that's like a sign already starting with some memory issues. Then it'll start progressively getting worse. Now, I don't know what the time frame is. My mother got diagnosed back in, I want to say, it's 2024, so 4 years, 2020, so before 2020. So I'll say it's 5 years. And within that time frame, she is doing pretty well. Just a short-term memory. So if I repeat something and I mention like, can you remember these three words? Say apple, orange, pineapple. I hope I'm still live yet. If anybody's on, can you let me know if I'm still live? Because I got booted out, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna call a friend and find out if I'm live. Let me just leave a message. Because I don't know what happened. I just automatically just got booted out right now. Can you check if I'm still live? I got booted out in the middle of my talking. So please let me know before I continue. Thank you. So while they're talking or checking, I'm going to keep talking. And we were talking about Alzheimer's and memory loss and exactly what happens. So I'm just waiting to see if I'm still connected and see what happens. I think I'm still connected. I don't know what's going on. But I will continue my talking. So there's little things. They start forgetting things. They start misplacing things. And what happened is it progressively gets worse. Now, it gets concerning when their basic skills are not, when they can't do their basic skills. They can't brush their teeth, they can't eat, or they can't dress themselves. In the beginning, I think maybe dress themselves. I'm not there yet. Thank God I'm not there yet. They're doing really well. But there are people out there, when they ask me a survey about how's your mother doing, and then they ask me all these questions, I go, oh my gosh, they're asking me questions. Can she get dressed? Can she walk by herself? Does she need a walker? Does she need a wheelchair? Can she eat by herself? Do you have to feed her? Is she incontinent? Like, is she going to the bathroom on herself, peeing or pooping or anything like that? Does she wear a diaper? I mean, it was just so many questions that they asked me, and it was just so, it's hard. It's hard to think of that your mother, or loved one is losing those abilities. It's very difficult to know if they're losing those abilities. And so far, we're pretty good. They're still independent, but I'm getting myself prepared because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the future is. Medicine, if everybody knows, again, seeing me on my 68, this is my 68th episode today. Just seeing my episodes will know that I try to do research and really find out more about Alzheimer's and dementia and see what else is going on. And hey, JC, if you're on there, let me know if you can hear me because I got booted before. So anyway, so it gets really difficult. I try to do the best that I can, and I try to be able to be there for them. I cook for them, and I try to make them healthy meals. And the doctor has said it's very important for them to exercise. So if you have an elderly family member you take care of, make sure they get some exercise. Walk with them if you have to. Walk with them around the block. They just need every day they need to be moving around. They can't be sitting all day. The bones start cracking and hurting. And trust me, you don't have to be that old to feel that. I feel it too. If I was kind of not walking because I have some issues with my feet, and I was favoring my feet and I started getting stiff again. I said, nope, it's not happening. I have to be good for everybody. So I decided to start walking again, and I did walk, but unfortunately, I guess I I always overdo it because I want to go. I want to go for my first walk. I don't want to go a mile. I want to do like 5 miles, like nothing normal. Okay. It's like, no, let's go. Let's go out for a couple of miles, walk to the beach, come back, like, and then I get home and I'm like, oh, that was a little too much. But I try my best. I have a condition on my foot that I have it's a benign fibroma. So it's like a little tumor on the bottom of the middle of my foot, and it is quite painful. And I can't wear anything but sneakers. So a lot of times people ask me, oh, how come you're not wearing like regular shoes? And I say, I can't. I just can't. I have a lot of pains in my feet. If I'm standing too long, then I have the pain from the cyst itself, from the tumor itself, and then the nerves. It started affecting all the nerves in my foot, and so it's coming up my feet. So I might look happy and friendly and everything's good, but there's some days, some days it's difficult. But I've learned that there's no need to complain about it or say anything to anybody about it. It's just basically I have to keep going. There's nothing I can do. I pray. I try to do different stretches, exercises, and see what else I can do that will benefit my feet. So I'm just checking. I'm checking everything here because I know that a lot of people are not on now because it's early and people are working. And I came on because I wanted to record this, and I figured I might as well go live. Anybody shows up, they'll see me, So I figured I might as well do that too. And sorry, I don't want to say and done. There's not even pretty much too many people on Instagram either. But that's all good because you will see me later. And okay, so I guess you can still hear me because I got some likes there. And I was talking about Alzheimer's. So yeah, I tell you right now, if any of you out there are caregivers, send me an email, shoot me a message. We need to create a support group for us. I do have a great women's group. Let me tell you, I have a great women's group. The Sisterhood, I Am Complete Woman, which is amazing. And my dear coach, Sherry Kane, she's super busy. She's doing several things now. On Tuesday, she does lives every Tuesday at 8:30. So check that out. I Am Complete Woman. And go look on Facebook. She does Facebook Lives. She also has some other, she does a lot of coaching, personal coaching, and some other courses that I've taken. I just completed a 7-week, a second 7-week course with her, which was so amazing. And I have some incredible new sisters that I love very much, and I've gotten very close to and learning more and more about them every day. And it makes a difference. I've taken my mother a couple of times, and she enjoys it while she's there. Unfortunately, she doesn't remember when she gets home, but she does enjoy it. And I always try to take my mother out dancing or something, take her out on an activity, even if it's just to go out to eat or get an ice cream or something, just to engage her. Don't forget about your elderly parents or your relatives, that they really need you. And if you don't visit them, it's really sad. It's lonely. We have a very hectic house because we decided that it was best to be all together because I need to keep an eye on them, make sure they're good. And what I do is, besides cooking and shopping and making sure they have everything in their needs, washing clothes, whatever, keeping the house clean. It's a lot of maintenance to be home. And I try to serve all you and try to do a podcast and try to maintain websites and all this other stuff. I sometimes don't even know how I do it. I just know that I have to do it so I can just keep going. But I also have to take care of myself. So I always tell you how self-love has to do with I have to spend time taking care of myself in order to be able to take care of everybody else. So what I've been doing is, besides having my I Am Complete Woman Sisterhood group, which is amazing, we see them every week. Sometimes we have monthly meetings. Sometimes we have activities outside. We had 2 weeks ago, we had self-love retreat in the park here in Plantation. It was amazing. We were sitting under a big oak tree, and we were out there all afternoon from 1 o'clock till 5, 6 o'clock. And it was the best experience I've had and the most fulfilling experience. in my heart and my soul with such incredible women. And let me tell you, there's so many incredible people in this world, and we just have to stick together. So let's all the good people stick together. The ones that have love in their heart and compassion for other people, we stick together and try to help make a better world out there. And I'm just one person. I'm just a normal, person, but I try my best, and I'm learning and getting more coaches and learning more and more about myself and what I can do for myself and help others out there. So I wanted to give you one little tip that I've learned since being with my aunt and my mother for the last several years, that I've been seeing the changes in their memories and how little things start going. So, and these are all, I tell you my thing, these are my personal things that I have to go through. My aunt, who's 84 years old, she still looks amazing, and she still has strength, and she's very difficult. Let me just tell you, my aunt is one of a kind. I love her. She's my only aunt on my mother's side, that I know, right? And well, not the only aunt on my mother's side, but that's the only sister that my mother has. And oh, my neck was not the right way. The only sister my mother has, and so I'm her only niece, and my mother, I'm her only daughter. So I have other sisters, two sisters from my dad from previous marriages, but it's just my mother is me and my aunt. So basically, I have gotten the job, being the only child and the only niece, to take care of both of them. Did I know that? No. Did I come to Florida from moving from New York to California and then here, knowing that I would do this after being here 24 years? No, I never thought I would have to do that. Didn't even think about it. You see your parents and your family members, and they're strong, right? Like, I'm strong, I'm so strong now, but you don't know what happens. Things can change. I had a stroke 7 years ago. Thank God that I was able to come back from it, and I've recovered pretty much almost 100%. Not exactly hundreds, I would say 90%, but I'm doing really good because I put my mind to it, that I was going to continue living and become healthier, because I realized I screwed up so much stuff in my life. And it's not to beat yourself up, but things happen, right? So I've learned that you can't beat yourself up about it. You just have to pick yourself up and remember, like I say, every day is a good day to reboot your mindset. Every day. Every day. You can change the way you live, you change the way you eat. You can change anytime you want to, but you have to. It has to be from you. You have to decide to change and change your mindset in order to fulfill your life and be happier and healthier in the life. And we have a lot of challenges in our life, but if we make just one little change, weekly or daily, just a little change. Like, for example, if you drink, just example, say you drink coffee every day, right? So if you drink coffee every day, and you notice that you're up to like 6-7 cups of coffee a day, it's a little much, right? So cut back 1 cup. Decide at 3 o'clock, no, I'm not gonna have that cup of coffee. Just to help you a little bit out. Little things like that. I used to eat a lot of cereal. I used to eat Cheerios, cereal, and all these other cereals, thinking they were so healthy. Well, let me tell you, Cheerios is one of the worst things to eat, and we give it to our children, and we eat it ourselves, thinking, oh, they say it's good for the cholesterol and all this stuff. Did you look at the ingredients in the back? All the preservatives and all the just so much crap in there. And also in Hola Juan, also in well, I don't want to go into it. There's so many chemicals that they put in our foods that it's really scary. It's really scary. And again, I always tell people, if you want to eat healthier, cut out anything that comes in a bag, frozen in a box, okay? Anything like that has been put together, or pre-cooked meal, don't eat that stuff. It is not that difficult to make food. If you're not a cook, you have a phone. Go to YouTube. How do I cook chicken? How do I make whatever it is? Whatever you want. Everything's on the computer nowadays. And if you don't have a phone, go on the computer, on the desktop. You can find out. You know what I do for a simple meal for my family, my aunt, my mother, because I know that sometimes they're very picky. I get some really good organic chicken. I put the chicken, I just put some spice on it, throw it in the oven, I grill it in the oven. So they have a chicken breast grilled in the oven, no oil, not fried. I I put in a couple of sweet potatoes in the oven. They got sweet potato, a chicken, and then we need a vegetable. So either I can throw it in, and then I can throw everything in the oven too. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take the sweet potatoes, right, throw them in the oven, throw the chicken in the oven, and then have another tray which I can put either broccoli or Brussels sprouts or any kind of vegetable you want, and you can just kind of saute it, put some seasoning in from some fresh garlic, a little bit of olive oil, toss it in there and stick it in the oven, and it's gonna be done. So like in 20 minutes, you got your chicken and your vegetables. And then the sweet potato or a baked potato, what I do is, if you want, I microwave it so it's kind of semi-cooked already, and then I stick it in the oven for it to get really cooked, because the sweet potatoes will release juice and a sweetness, right? So that's a simple meal: sweet potato, grilled chicken, and a vegetable. Can't go wrong with that. You got good things going there. And what I've heard also is that we're supposed to eat, to be very healthy, is 7 cups of vegetables a day. Now, I know a lot of you are like, vegetables. I don't know why people don't like vegetables. They're awesome. Put some salt and, don't put too much salt, but put some pepper, some garlic, some fresh, whatever you like, any kind of spices. If you have fresh oregano, rosemary, there's so many things you can throw in there. Some cilantro. You can just put some flavor. Put flavor. Spices are awesome. You can get fresh herbs, which I have some basil and I have some rosemary. And I throw it in there to give it a little bit more flavor. Garlic is always good. Red peppers are always good. Onions, I use onions, red peppers, garlic, green peppers, I think all the time. And I use fresh tomato as well. So there's a lot of things you can do really simple for your family to eat healthy. And it's fast. I cook, and like I prepare everything, and within, say, 40 minutes, dinner's done. Between preparing and sticking it in the oven, I just put everything in the oven, turn the oven on, let's go. And try to make it simple and easy to eat and enjoyable. And yeah, there's sometimes we do, like, they like chicken cutlets, so I have to fry them. So I try to bake them, but they don't come out the same. So I'm trying to work with that. But again, talking about Alzheimer's. So, I mentioned this because it's important to have a healthy diet, healthy exercise, and mental stimulus if you have any kind of form of Alzheimer's or dementia. And if you're getting older, like we all are, take a hobby. My mother and my aunt, I buy the word search book. So you look for the word, and you have to look for it in the little square. So they do that every day. I go to the dollar store. They're $1.25 now, because they used to be $1, right? They're $1.25 a book. I buy a whole bunch of them. I have them home. They don't do the crosswords too much because they're not used to that. But they have math things, they have drawing, they have other things. They're not too much into coloring, but I always bring it. I have bingo, I have puzzles, with the big pieces, right? Like for kids, you get the big puzzles, easier for them. So little things to get their mind going. And then once in a while I put a nice movie on, because there's a lot of weird stuff on television. So I put a nice movie on for them. Sometimes I even put the kids' movie. They enjoy it. They laugh. I have something so they can laugh, just to help them out. And one thing that I discovered, one thing is so important. So I had a couple of times, well, not a couple of times, many times, us, as we grow up, we get used to saying certain words or saying certain phrases. And in America here, right, we have the weirdest sayings. Oh, I can catch a bird with 2 stones. I can do, I don't know. It's all these weird sayings that we have, right? So one of the things that I found that I was saying all the time was, don't you remember we went to this place, and don't you remember last year we went here? Don't you remember when we went to the show in New York? Or don't you remember? You know, those words, don't you remember, are words that are not very friendly to a person who is losing memory. And then they get upset, they get agitated when you go, don't you remember? No, I don't remember. And then they get upset because they really don't remember and they don't know. My mother and my aunt have not ever communicated to me lately at all. In the last 4 years, have said to me, I'm sad, I'm depressed. I try to ask them, they don't say anything. I'm gonna have them maybe go to a therapist, somebody else, like another person to talk to, because I'm too close. When you're the daughter or the caregiver to the person, they're gonna give you so much grief. They're gonna give you a lot of grief because you're so close, and I'm very protective with my mother and my aunt. And then I try to protect them, like, please don't go outside, crossing the street, even though we live in a cul-de-sac, people, and they get upset. Why? I know I can see, little things that you try to tell them, and it's not easy. So now, lately, because of the memory loss, what they usually say to me now is, my mother will say, wow, this is lemonade. I never had this before. I said, is it good? She said, yeah, it's really good. I said, oh, that's awesome. Now you had some. Now you know what lemonade is. So instead of me arguing with my mother and telling her, but you've had lemonade 100 times, and sometimes I feel that way, and sometimes I do get in it with my mother. But now I'm embracing a new memory. I'm making a new memory for her, and hopefully it will stick. So when she tells me, oh, I never seen, JC perform, which was a really shocker to me when she said that to me. And my mother has been to JC's salsa performance since he started, every single one in 5 years that he's been performing, every single one. And unfortunately, she doesn't even remember. So, it makes me want to cry. It really makes me want to cry when my mother tells me, I've never seen him sing. And I'm like, I looked at JC, I looked at myself, I was like, she's seen you every single time. And it's hard to take that, right? And so now, instead of like antagonizing or upsetting your elder person that you take care of, just embrace it. If they don't remember, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they don't remember. They remember you, we're good. As long as they remember you, like they know who I am and I take care of them, I'm good. But if they don't remember something, I'm like, Mom, you never had that chicken before? Oh, well, try it. Let me know. How's it good? Is it good? And then they're like little kids, like learning new things. And they ask you lots of questions all day. How do I do this? Where does this go? What do I do? What do I back and forth? Does it go up? Does it go down? Does it go sideways? I feel like I'm that mother again when I had my kids little, and they would go, Mommy, but why? Mommy, why? Now it's Alita all day, and why this and that, and why can I do this, and why can I do that? And it's quite intense. So, but I'm very grateful and thankful that I have to say that I have my mother. So many people out there have lost their mother. So I feel for you that if you lost a mother or a parent, especially a mother, because I still have my mother, and I have to sit back sometimes and say stop and look at my mother and go, thank you, God, that she's here, because there's some days that I'm tired, or I'm just not in the mood to deal with it. I mean, we have our days, and the questions after questions, and then the repetitiveness. So a lot of times it's the repetitiveness which is the problem. So if I say, this cup, oh, if you can see my cup, let me see. My cup is gray. So I'll take my cup and I say, okay, Mom, I'm going to leave my cup right here on the desk. I'm going to go outside for a second and come back. All right, say you had something in it. Do you know how many times I come back and the glass is in there? Because she wants to wash everything, and she sees, oh, it's dirty, she just washes it. And sometimes I get upset, and then I realize, why am I getting upset? I can't get upset. What, not that I can't, but I really shouldn't get upset because she can't remember. I don't know what that feels like. I do forget some things, so I say that too. Sometimes I have to stop and do, if everybody remembers Mork and Mindy, a show that was on TV years in the 80s, Robin Williams used to be in this show, and he used to do rewind. He'd go backwards, and he'd start going backwards when he couldn't remember something, and he would go backwards and rewind and then come back forward again. That's what I do. That's what I do when I'm in the house, and you go to the room, you go to your bedroom, and you were in the kitchen, you go darn it, I forgot why I came to the room. So I go back to the kitchen. Oh, I got it. And I catch the memory back again. So little things that you have to go through, right? But just embrace your family members. I know it's hard. Try to find a support group. I'm really, really trying to put it together, a group for caregivers, because there's a lot of groups out there, but more intimate group, because we need help with each other. We need a support group to hold each other, even accountable, to help each other during these tough times, because it's very difficult. And this is just the beginning. So an example. Now, these are all personal things that I talk about, but I think it's important to talk about it. So my aunt, I told you she had fallen and she had hit her head, so she had some like amnesia, memory loss. And she's been doing pretty good, but lately she's decided she doesn't remember to take a shower. So I see her get up from the kitchen after breakfast, she goes to her room and she gets dressed and she comes back. And I'm like, did you take a shower? She's like, oh, I don't need to take a shower. So I wait the next day, 2 days, 3 days. So in the beginning it was like 2 or 3 days, I can handle that. And she would go take a shower. And then it went a week. Then it went 10 days. So then I had to do the joke about, it's Saturday, you gotta take a shower. We do this thing in Spanish and say, es sábado, tiene que bañarse. Because in a lot of the islands, sometimes you struggle with water, electricity, a lot of different things. So when we say it's Saturday, it's time to take a shower, right? So I was like, it's Saturday, everybody, it's time to take a shower today, just in case, and see if my aunt will push herself to take a shower. She just doesn't want to go in the shower. So then I thought about it and I thought about it and I said, maybe she doesn't remember how to take a shower or doesn't know what to do. So I send my mother, who's still pretty good, and she takes care of my aunt, and she's the older sister. She's 2 years older than my aunt. So I told my mother, Mom, can you please go in the room there and see if you can help my aunt to take a shower, take her, and she gets a little upset about it, but she goes and she does, and then she'll take a shower. But I'm noticing now that the shower is an issue, washing her hair is an issue, like scrubbing. I am not mentally, emotionally prepared to give my aunt a bath. Did I do it? Yes, I've had to do it. When she had COVID and she came back from the hospital, and my mother did too, having COVID like sucked their brain. So my aunt for 3 months couldn't take a shower, couldn't get dressed, was barely eating. She would sit in the living room. Okay, this was, it was intense. I mean, there are times that we laugh, and it's not laughing at my aunt, it's about releasing tension. So let me just tell you, if I laugh, I'm not laughing at my aunt or the situation. I release tension by laughing, because laughter is good for you. So my aunt came back from the hospital, and she was in her pajamas, and she went in the recliner in the living room, right? So she's sitting in the recliner, and usually my mother and my aunt will get up about between 9:30 and 10, and they'll migrate to their bedroom, change their clothes, put their pajamas on, and put the TV on, and then they will set a timer and they fall asleep and they go to bed. So when they had COVID, and when they came back from having COVID, their brains were mush for 3 months. Thank God 3 months later they came back. For 3 months, my aunt didn't know many things. She didn't recognize us for a while, for a few days, for about a week. She didn't know who I was, who my mother was. She was like, who's that lady in my room? That was my mother. She didn't know her. And she couldn't take a shower. She didn't know how to take a shower. So I had to go give her a bath. And I was like flipping out. Like, what do I do? I was hysterical. Any of my friends know, and when this happened, it was in December, I think. I don't remember, it was 21 or 20. I can't remember. I don't remember it was 20 or 21. But I have to look in the calendar. But I was freaking out. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So what do I start doing? I start calling the doctor, took him to the doctor. They called, and thank God they called like the Center for Aging, and I got on this waiting list. So as my aunt and my mother progress, I will have some aid coming from the Center for Aging, and I don't know if it's through the government, I'm not positive. but I was able to do that. So if you have an elderly parent, ask your medical provider, your primary doctor, that you want the Center for Aging, and they will find some help for you. So I'm right now, I still don't have any aide at home. I'm the aide, and JC's aunt is home too. But she's having some memory issues too now, and she's younger. So that's three now. Three people in my household that have memory issues. So I just pray that my brain will stay, and everybody out there say, pray for me that God will keep my brain healthy and alive, and until the day I die, to take care of my family, take care of my mother, my aunt, and my family members that I need to. And so I just wanted to come today and talk a little bit about Alzheimer's and dementia, but more on a personal note, because it's very difficult, and they get irritable. So my mother gets irritable. Oh wow! You say something and she starts. The other day, she goes to me, "I'm not saying anything," but she's talking la 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 la. When you have a child that has when you have a small child and you're trying to teach him, and you tell him, little Billy, stay in your corner or play it over there, or whatever you're telling them to do, and they're like, no, mommy, no, I'm not doing it, and they argue with you and they fight with you. Well, that's how they get. They will argue with you, and they will fight with you, and they're like constantly trying to I don't know, trying to find something, because they're so lost in their own world. And I will continue having episodes like this, and I'll come back and talk about their cycle and where they're at and what I'm doing, just to give you some help and some guidelines. So main thing that I tell you right now, keep your elderly parents or family member that you care for active. Let them do some walking. If you have a garden, have them do gardening. Bring some painting brushes, crayon, anything to be creative, have the brain juices going. The word search, or if they like crosswords, go to the dollar store. There's lots of little games there in the kids section on the stationery. You'll find things for them to be entertained. Music, play music every day. I play music at the house, some light jazz, some classical. Later on, and during the mornings, I keep it like mellow, nice and mellow music. And then later on in the afternoon, we kick it up and we put some salsa or some disco freestyle, and then they start moving around. They remember, oh, I used to dance all the time. And you go, yeah, let's see how you dance, and you dance with them. So embrace the journey. The journey is a little rocky out there, but remember, there are people out there that are going through it, have gone through it, that can help you out there. So please send me a message. Again, send me a message, email me. You can email me at info@rebootedthepodcast.com. Currently, that is my email. You can send it there. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. And if you want information about I Am Complete Woman, for all you women out there, it's an incredible circle. You will not regret joining it. You will not regret it. I've been there for 2 years now. I'm a lifetime member, and in the beginning, I was a little skeptic. I really was. I'll tell you the truth. But you know what? I have grown so much in 2 years. It's amazing. I have so much love in my heart, and just so much more patience in things that I do. And not that every day is the same, but just saying that it does help. And I also joined an accountability group. It's called Daily SOS, if you want to join. And every day at 11 o'clock, we get together. We do some meditation, some visualization to start our day, what our intention is for the day, like what our goal is. A goal is an intention. Don't get confused about words. People get really crazy about words and before I go, I want to say this. So I have said before, I believe in God and I pray to God. Now, God has many names, and in the Bible and in whatever book you read on a spiritual journey, he has many names, but he's still the only one God that is there. I'm not praying to some weird thing or anything like that. I'm praying to the Almighty God, the creator of everything. And his name, but when you say God, it could be the universe, it could be divine light, it could be the energy forces. That's all God. Stop worrying about the words that we say. Oh, you're not believing the right thing. No. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Okay, I believe in God, and I am founded on the belief in God and a higher being in this world. If not, I wouldn't be here. He created me, he created everything else around us. So if I say the universe or divine love or anything like that, it's all God. It's all God. Don't worry about the word that I say. It's God. Okay, and you can say what you want, whatever makes you comfortable. I'm not telling you you have to say that. I'm just saying that it's something that is a personal preference. Okay, and so have faith, take care of yourself, do some self-love, give yourself time, do some praying, some meditating in the beginning of the day, and try to form your day, and that way you can live a more easier day. And take care of your loved one out there, because you know what, you only have one mother, one father, or maybe only one aunt, but you only have one mother, one father. So take care of them, enjoy them. Don't feel like they're a burden to you, because they're not. They took care of you and they raised you until you were 18 years old. Your mother and father took care of you. So you know what, now that you're 60, 65, I don't know, 45, I don't know what your age is, and you have to take care of your parents, it's your turn. Okay, it's your turn. It is just your turn. And I was raised that way. I was grow up in a Puerto Rican household. We took care of grandma. Grandma died at home at 90 years old. And I've taken care of other people, other sister and another brother of my aunt, of my grandmother that I said as an aunt and uncle, took care of them, took care of my father. I was there when he took his last breath. My uncle died at home too of cancer. I was there for his last breath as well. And when my grandmother died, I was there too. So I had 3 people that were close to me that took their last breath with me. And it was very emotional. And I carried that with me for a very long time. But I know that they're in peace right now. So I'm very thankful that they're in peace. So please be in peace yourself. And again, don't forget, if you need anything from me, please email me at info@rebootedthepodcast.com. I appreciate you. And again, I'm not live. I recorded this at 3:15 that I got on live. And so please leave me comments and messages. I will see them later and answer you. And I do hope you have a great day. Please remember to subscribe to my channel down there. There's a subscribe. There's a little bell so you know when I have my next program. And like my episode on YouTube. I appreciate it. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I don't know, all over the place. And if you have podcasts, remember, I'm on Google, I'm on Spotify, I'm on iHeart, I'm on all the platforms. You can listen to me you're in your car, or you're doing a workout or something, you got your earbuds in, you can listen to me then. And if you want to see me, I'm always on YouTube, so you can see me and say hi. So I really appreciate you. And again, thank you for being here, and I will see you next week. Don't forget, we have our other program on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday at 7 p.m., we have Spanglish Cafe show, and I will be with JC, and we talk about music. And now starting on Thursdays, we'll be having Spanglish Cafe Freestyle Edition with all our freestyle artists as well. So check out all our different shows that we have, and I appreciate you. So again, don't forget to subscribe. Rebooted Mindset 555 on YouTube, and subscribe to my channel. And again, I'll see you live next week at 6 p.m. Sorry I had to go early today, but I guess I still got the message to you. So thank you and have an awesome day. Bye.